Cancer season is coming, a season of protection, karma, and being supportive, and you can find your free mini guide in the description box. But let's talk about how you can trust in the ebbs and flows of life this Cancer season. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Hannah and welcome back, Cosmic Warriors. Before we do dive into today's video, if you want to learn more about astrology, then head on over to the Cosmic Check-In podcast. And if you would like to book a reading with me, then go to hannahselsewhere.com. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's do this. Okay, so Cancer season 2025. Opening the season, the moon will be in Taurus as the sun in Cancer creates a lovely sextile to the very ruling planet of Cancer of the season, the moon, suggesting a need for calm and patience. See, the sun also greets Jupiter on first arrival, pointing to a sea of emotion. It may be important to ground ourselves then and to find some kind of peace during the height of our emotional waves, to really bring it back to the body and to recenter ourselves. We will be reminded to connect in, to tune in, to enjoy ourselves, treat ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. The moon in Taurus certainly sets a soothing and relaxing and supportive tone to Cancer season this year, especially due to the fact that Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune will all be involved. In a world where it feels like everything is falling apart, everyone is going crazy, everybody has their own opinion, tensions are high, it feels tiresome and somewhat lonely. It'll then behoove us to find some stillness within it all. As Saturn builds, Neptune dissolves, and as Jupiter increases, Saturn restricts, and as the moon seeks comfort, Pluto explodes, meaning many of us could very well reach a breaking point. Enough is enough. A call to action. A challenge to rise, to do the unthinkable, the impossible. And patience is so important throughout, seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. And what we also see during Cancer season 2025 is how Mars will reside in Virgo. Mars entered Virgo on the 17th of June and will be there until the 6th of August. And so energetically, we might want to do things correctly and precisely, especially when it comes to helping and supporting others, given the connections with Cancer. So if there is someone in your life who is struggling, they need your support or your care, they reach out to you for advice. You might find that at the beginning of Cancer season, you show up, or it's others that show up for you. They want to do things to make your life that little bit easier. And if there are any goals you work towards throughout the season, Mars in Virgo indicates using a methodical approach, working smarter instead of harder, seeing how matters can be improved along the way. We will seek tangible results with an opportunity to showcase our strong work ethic. We will also seek to do our very best. And by the 26th of June, as Mercury enters Leo, our goal setting, our actions, our willpower, and our strength, well, those things will be combined with an attitude of passion, enthusiasm, and inspiration, with a thought process of, I like who I am. I will get through this. I will make this happen. I am fierce, I am strong, I am brave, I am confident. Just before Mercury enters Leo, so the first few days of Cancer season, as Mercury finishes up in Cancer, our ability to listen is notable. So think about memory, nostalgia, speaking with a nurturing tone, being quite sensitive to criticism. Our actions then will be met with emotional intelligence, and how we deliver information will include greater thought for others and their feelings. And so when Mercury enters Leo, the tone will change. Our opinions and our views will be more direct and strong, and we might pride ourselves on our intelligence, what we know, how we communicate. We will be less likely to shy away from saying it like it is, especially if someone pisses us off. Also important to note, Mercury retrograde will begin in Leo towards the end of Cancer season, and so the pre-shadow period of Mercury also begins, meaning expect older conversations and discussions to be revisited. Unresolved issues may come up. A useful time to look over passion projects and creative interests. So let's say, for example, you have an idea of starting a new creative project. And with Saturn and Neptune involved, it's something you have always dreamed of. Mercury retrograde is a great way to go over that plan, to edit things, improve, adjust, especially with the support of Mars in Virgo. And as Mars in Virgo aligns with the South Node towards the end of Cancer season as well, something will most likely be released, let go of. An older habit or a routine that is no longer useful. It's not as useful as it used to be. Karmic lessons regarding our actions will most likely be addressed. Times when we are prone to analysis paralysis, hard expectations, excessive criticism, overthinking, and worry. We will be reminded to release some tension and to trust the process. I hope you are enjoying this video so far, and if you are, then please be sure to like the video and subscribe for more if you haven't already. And if you're interested in learning more about astrology, then you can always pick up a copy of my astrology cheat sheets. The links are down below. Thank you so much. Now, one of the most exciting and important events of Cancer season 2025 is Uranus entering Gemini for the first time in about 80 years. Uranus will enter Gemini on the 7th of July until the 7th of November and will retrograde September time. Uranus then will re-enter Taurus by November and will move back into Gemini around spring of 2026, where Uranus will stay for about 7 years. Therefore, this summer welcomes a taste of how Uranus in Gemini might manifest. Think media changes, education and marketing breakthroughs, alternative media, cutting-edge transportation, wacky humor, independent networks, more than two trades, non-conformity to the likes of how we communicate, publish, sell, and write. Naturally, Cancer season welcomes the very beginning of this transit, and more events will unfold and occur over the next 7 years. But what is interesting is here how Uranus will be quite close to Venus in Gemini at the beginning of July. Venus will enter Gemini on the 4th of July until the 30th of July, indicating intellectual stimulation in relationships, witty socializing, open communication, valuing variety and change, finding beauty and learning new things. And with Uranus involved, of course, at the very beginning of this particular transit, expect electric attractions, sudden beginnings and endings within relationships, and also regarding our finances, how we earn money. Also changes just could happen very suddenly related to our desires, our pleasures, our comforts. Experimentation with new ideas could happen, and mental restlessness will most likely occur when relating and socializing. Now, one of the final things to mention about Cancer season this year is how both Saturn and Neptune will begin their retrograde motion in Aries. To remind you, Neptune entered Aries at the end of March, and Saturn entered Aries on the 24th of May. And so throughout the summer, we will retrace our steps related to our actions, our identity, our warrior-like spirit. Saturn retrograde in Aries until September says, time to review your initiatives for the long term. Time to re-strategize, Look over your dedication plan. Reassess your self-reliance. Redefine what your boundaries are. Questions related to status, success, and commitment and purpose are very much likely. And then Neptune retrograde in Aries until October says, time to go over your collective ideals, your dreams, your visions, gain greater clarity regarding your actions and your direction, and really ask yourself, what do you want? Be willing as well to face the truth of your situation instead of making excuses. Indeed, as the retrogrades begin in Aries, be ready for an honest review of your decisions, wants, and pioneering visions. It'll be a great time to get clear and to ensure your foundations are solid when it comes to following your dreams. It is a great time then to call yourself out for any fairy tale, unrealistic wants and actions too. Equally, however, also a great time to embrace the magic by aligning with your authentic path. Though the last thing I want you to remember before we move on to your horoscopes is that Cancer season is a highly karmic season. Cancer, after all, is about the cycles of life, phases, and so we're reminded to trust in the ebbs and flows of life. So times when we're up, times when we're down, times when life is more fruitful and rewarding, times when life is more dark, sorrowful, and challenging. And I think the squares between Jupiter and Saturn over the past while, well, they have highlighted just that we can't expect to be happy all the time, and we also shouldn't expect to be sad all the time. Cancer, you see, as an archetype, is the archetype of emotion, and our emotions change. How we feel about a situation is subject to change, meaning our emotions, our attitudes, and our feelings are not fixed. They constantly evolve based on many factors, such as new information, new experiences, social influence, personal growth. To further add to this, the Sun will of course align with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo throughout such a karmic season, and the nodes are so much about karma too, meaning this Cancer season invites us to align our core identity and our emotional intelligence with our soul's mission and evolution, to allow our care and support to guide us and lead the way, to see that we can feel, heal, and surrender. And we can also draw from our ability to use our critical thought to find errors in matters that are perhaps overly idealistic as well, to see that it is one thing to envision something, but it is another thing to do something, and that our impulse to help is not necessarily the best option given the certain or particular circumstances. Okay, so with all of the astrology being explained, let's now move on to your horoscopes. And I do want to say thank you so much for watching. Okay, so first up we have Aries. All right, Aries. So this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by connecting with your inner world, with your heart, with your spiritual guidance. As you push to make things happen within your everyday life, as you make significant adjustments to your routines, your habits, your schedules, make sure to slow down and to listen to your inner voice, to your body as well. Channel your energy into what is most meaningful and aligned, rather than chasing external validation super recklessly or impulsively. It is a time, Aries, to be mindful of your steps, which I do think Saturn in your sign has been supporting you with. And also, you will be revisiting your creative projects very soon. So also, all the more reason to slow down. Finish what you have started, for example, Aries. You'll be really proud of yourself for doing that. Plus, the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June will be very eye-opening, pointing to a new domestic cycle tied to your security and your sense of belonging. Thank you, Aries. And now on to Cancer. Taurus, my apologies. Taurus, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by leaning into what is the most comfortable, safe, and supportive within conversations and daily interactions, okay? Those everyday chats. Create beauty and harmony around you. Make your surroundings pleasing. Show even appreciation for what you have, for who you are, for how you look, for how you present yourself, and be open as well to new and exciting financial ideas and opportunities. Okay, so it'll be a time to be quite inventive, creative, time to think outside of the box when it comes to your security. Embrace the simple pleasures of learning and communicating. You will be retracing your steps soon when it comes to joy and entertainment within your home. So how you spend your time at home, how you even relate, how you connect with your family. So try and connect with the things that you are proud of at home. The Jupiter Cassimi as well on the 24th of June will be quite eye-opening for you, pointing to a new local environment cycle involving a shift in mindset, perspective, based on deeper bonds, deeper connections. Thank you so much, Taurus. And now on to Gemini. So Gemini, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by finding comfort in what is familiar, secure, and stable in your life. It is a time to settle into your inner world and to connect with your emotions in a new way, with a heightened sense of awareness and truth. Remember that July welcomes Uranus in Gemini for the first time in 80 years, suggesting intellectual beauty and freedom, pleasure and relationship breakthroughs, sudden changes to your outlook, to your appearance. This is going to be a really exciting new experience for you. You'll be looking over your interests and your studies soon as well. Any creative blocks will be reassessed, reevaluated, and possibly an older sibling matter could come up. Now, the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June will be eye-opening for you in that it'll point to a greater emphasis on really just nurturing your security and your resources, Gemini. Thank you so much, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. So Cancer, I do want to say happy birthday to all of you solar Cancerians out there. So Cancer season this year invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by tuning in with your intuition and your spiritual guidance. You'll know yourself, which steps, which opportunities will be important to take, and which ones will you be walking away from? Which ones will you reject or avoid? This is about your emotional wellness, Cancer, prioritizing self-care and being close to loved ones you trust, to family. Lean on those who are there for you. This is a time to trust yourself as well. A time for personal growth and development, Cancer. Now, you will be revisiting your financial position and your earnings very soon. A time to manage what you own, your personal assets and belongings, and to do so with confidence and self-assurance. Now, the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June will be particularly eye-opening, pointing to a significant rebirth of self, a powerful shift in consciousness and priorities, an optimistic or knowledgeable boost. Thank you so much, Cancer. And now on to Leo. So Leo, your birthday season is very soon for all of you solar Leos out there. But this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by knowing what you need and caring for yourself, supporting yourself, by taking some time away from the public eye to recenter, to check in, right? By prioritizing rest and reset and recovery, by seeing that it does take time to process big emotions, big feelings. Remember also that you will be reviewing your direction and your goals very, very soon due to how Mercury will station retrograde in your sign towards the end of the season. You'll have an opportunity to reevaluate your purpose and what you genuinely think. Now, the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June for you will be eye-opening in that it'll point to a grand healing, a release, as well as an interesting new perspective tied to your hidden talents. New opportunities may be silent, quiet. Thank you so much, Leo. And now on to Virgo. All right, so Virgo, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by aligning yourself with collective aims that create a sense of security and belonging. By being open to greater connection within friendships, and by being willing to receive when it comes to a new group, a new network. So those kinds of opportunities could open up, right? Networking opportunities, group opportunities. Remember that you'll be gaining greater clarity about your art, your creative projects, how you communicate with confidence. There is something here about your self-expression and your voice. And so you'll take some time to get inspired in solitude. It is a time to reset, to let go, and to get quiet. But simultaneously, yes, you'll also be working on your everyday goals, your identity goals. New appearance goals come up here. New goals tied to interesting, exciting new experiences that you really want to move forward with. Still, Mercury retrograde indicates a time of reset at the same time. Now, the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June will be particularly eye-opening for you, pointing to amplified energy regarding your hopes and wishes, a stronger emphasis on network growth, team building, more support being experienced within friendships and communities. Thank you so much, Virgo. And now on to Libra. So Libra, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by understanding what truly makes you feel secure and safe when it comes to your professional life and your ambitions. It is time to nurture your achievements, your long-term goals, and your reputation, and to be emotionally intelligent, to be this emotionally intelligent professional. It is also likely that you invest in a financial project or your debts suddenly change. And you also join new courses or programs somewhat out of the blue. You'll be retracing your steps very soon when it comes to your friendships, your communities, your teams, your groups, those kinds of things, or those kinds of groups you're a part of. So to rethink the group dynamics and how you are seen and recognized. Maybe you review a creative collaboration or you get in touch with older group members. Now, the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June for you will be eye-opening in that it'll point to emotional wisdom regarding your chosen career path, heightened emotions due to your public image as well, and greater benevolence about success and status. Thank you so much, Libra. And now on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by seeking deeper meaning when it comes to long-distance travel and spreading your wings. It is a time to expand your worldview and to see which opportunities are out there just waiting to be explored with great emotional insight and understanding. You might also find that you actually put a plan of action in place when it comes to your hopes and wishes for the future. You'll be revisiting your career and your public life very soon. So think older conversations with members of authority, genuinely reviewing your leadership, past discussions about success, and the refinement of your creative long-term goals. Now, as for the Jupiter Cassimi on the 24th of June, that one will be eye-opening for you in that it'll point to a potential new adventure, a greater desire to book a trip or a holiday, seeking more freedom and meaning, heightened awareness due to guidance and teaching. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Now moving on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by confronting your vulnerabilities, by exploring trust, and by essentially diving into emotional spaces for self-growth and development. Trusting that such experiences will make you a stronger and a more resilient person. There is so much wisdom to learn from your hidden emotions. Now, do also remember that you'll be revisiting your beliefs and your philosophies quite soon. So you might even revisit an older higher education program or you revisit an older publication or teaching or principle. Could also be a few legal matters that open up again, asking you to take another look. Now, as for the Jupiter Cassimi, especially with Jupiter being your ruler, right? The Jupiter Cassimi will happen on the 24th of June, and that'll be eye-opening for you in that it'll point to a deepening of bonds, intimacy expansion, maybe shedding old emotional skin, and heightened intuition. Thank you, Sagittarius. And now on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by focusing your attention on nurturing your partnerships and your one-to-one relationships. This is about feeling secure and safe, supporting others, reciprocity, seeing how you can grow within and through relationships. This may actually involve business, or perhaps you're also protected against a few open enemies. Now, you'll also be taking a closer look at your shared resources and your accounts quite soon, at your debts, repayments, business expenses, taxes. Maybe you also take a closer look at older psychological blocks tied to confidence and creativity. And with Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde throughout the season, you'll also be looking over your pioneering visions regarding home, property, and family over the next coming weeks and months. The Jupiter Cassimi then on the 24th of June for you will be quite eye-opening, pointing to remarkable new business partnership opportunities, collaborations being quite prosperous, and also enhanced diplomatic skills. Thank you so much, Capricorn. And now on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life by nurturing your routines, your habits, and of course your health. By making your emotional well-being a priority, by trusting the expansion and growth of new work, co-worker opportunities. It is a time to give generously and to offer your support to others. You'll also be reviewing your one-to-one partnerships quite soon. So think older business conversations, an older creative project you revisit and refine. It'll be a time to revisit some contracts and agreements which are tied to teaching, coaching, entertainment, or performance. Now, interestingly, with one of your rulers, Uranus, entering your 5th house throughout the season, it is a time to recreate yourself creatively and artistically. You may be surprised by your hobbies and your interests, Aquarius. Could be a new passion you discover out of the blue, right? And with Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde throughout the season, you'll also be looking over your pioneering visions regarding communication, marketing, and sales over the next coming weeks and months. Now, the Jupiter Cassimi for you on the 24th of June will be quite eye-opening in that it'll point to a more uplifting and positive work environment, perhaps some pet-related blessings or service-related opportunities. Thank you so much, Aquarius. And lastly then, moving on to Pisces. All right, so Pisces, this Cancer season invites you to trust in the ebbs and flows of life, really by tapping into your inner child, by being openly and emotionally creative, by nurturing your hobbies and the things that make you happy, by seeking emotional pleasure and comfort within your romantic relationships, or possibly by spending more time with your children, creating memories together. You will also be revisiting your working life and your schedules very soon. So think about older conversations with coworkers, decisions regarding recognition, a few older tasks you would like to improve, creative ways you exercise, eat, and just look after yourself overall. Now, as for Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde throughout the season, you'll also be looking over your pioneering visions regarding money, resources, security, and your belongings. And then when we think about the Jupiter Cassimi for you, of course, Jupiter is one of your rulers. That'll take place on the 24th of June. Well, that Cassimi will be eye-opening in that it'll point to a powerful new self-expression cycle, new opportunities to express yourself through art and performance and so on. heightened risk taking, and an increased desire to have fun and to enjoy yourself. Hey, maybe you even gamble on that day. That could be an important date to remember, Pisces. Thank you so much, Pisces. And with that all being said, everyone, this has been your video all about Cancer season 2025. I hope that this video has prepared you well for the season ahead. I hope you find it to be helpful. I hope that you learned something new from it too. And if you did find it to be helpful, you can always buy me a coffee. Stay tuned for more, everyone, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!